Okay, so it's live. What's up, guys? This is Mark from DsGenie. I haven't been live for a while because I've been tied up doing a lot of stuff with the inner circle group. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so it's come on. This is Jason. He's in my inner circle. There's a link to the inner circle in the description so you can see what it's about. There may or may not be space, because Tony's supposed to close it off. Um, but before we get it, so Jason, we're gonna talk about what we were talking about before,
Yeah.
uh, with certain things that you notice. But what's up, Thando? But let's talk a little bit about the drop in sales and what we did so far in your account and the new account, what's happening. And then you can share the screen in your account just so we can show those sales. What's up, Nadir? And then we could talk about the other stuff that we noticed.
Yeah, for sure.
So what? So let's talk. You had an account. You have an account. You sold 14,000 the first 30 days with DsGenie.
Mhm.
And then you got a drop in sales. When was that? Around like the 8th or something?
So I started noticing like towards the end of September because I was actually on track to do over 20,000 my first
Hmm.
month.
Right.
Towards like the end of September, I started noticing like a slight dip, but I didn't really think too much of it. But then it wasn't until like October 11th, I would say, is when like the huge. I'm talking about going from maybe selling 15 items a day to selling like two or three a day,
Right.
and what also corresponded with that as well was my listing impressions. Let me mute my phone. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My listing impressions dropped tremendously too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So the views dropped and sales dropped like crazy. And then so first of all, what so when that happened, you messaged me, right? And
Oh,
I think what is interesting about this is so I remember so first of all, there are 45 of you motherfuckers watching my video. We're addressing this shit. So like my fucking video. I'm tired as fuck because I just finished this group call with the inner circle and I decided to come on and talk about this. But what I think is interesting. So let me just tell you guys a couple things. When I first started to drop ship, I had drop shipped for 3 or 4 years before I made any YouTube videos, right? And I wasn't. Hey Mark, have you noticed a drop in promote? This we're talking about all this now Pacific. So like the fucking video.
yeah. We're gonna get into like all the weird shit pretty much that's going on with eBay. That's essentially why we're going on live right
Now
now.
it would be saved, so you could come back and watch it later. So the first 3 or 4 years drop shipping. Thanks for the $5, Tyler. Every time the motherfucker come on live and throw money at me, I feel like a cheap stripper. But yeah, um, I when I was drop shipping before YouTube and before I had the group, I saw crazy drops in sales. Right? I went from selling 150 items a day to like 20 or 30 items in a day. And because I didn't have a YouTube channel and didn't have a Facebook group, I didn't think about it as some sort of conspiracy to drop shippers. So when I put myself in that time before we're sharing all this bullshit on social media, when that happened, the first thing I did was I sat down and looked at my eBay account and tried to figure out what the fuck I could do. And the reason why I say that, Jason, you still there? Like you're
Yeah,
not
I'm here,
moving.
I'm here.
Yeah, yeah. The reason why I say that is because I find it incredible that there's so many people that see a drop in sales. Darren, there's a guy in my group who's been in DHU for a while that said that, a couple of you guys. It baffles me that so many people see a drop in sales and freeze and
Yeah,
don't try to solve the problem and don't do anything about it. And what that tells me is that a lot of you guys got too complacent. So you build this business, you got VAs, and you think the shit is gonna last forever, or you think like nothing is gonna change. And then it's just like, Mark, my sales have dropped. What do I do? So I say all of that because before fucking Facebook, this happened to me 3 or 4 times, and not once did I ever look at it in the perspective of eBay is against drop shippers. I
yeah,
think this you see I think this idea because we have this group thinking of everyone freaking out at the same time and people jumping on these
yeah.
like ideas,
Yeah,
that's
it's like the
where
Illuminati. Like people, like people are just thinking of all these like conspiracies and shit, and it's kind of funny. Like again, I don't. For me, the more I think about it, like in a more logical sense, I kind of think that it is sort of like, why would eBay, this $1 million or $1 billion company, go out of their way to solely target drop shippers, knowing that drop shippers probably make majority of their money as far as sellers are concerned? So it's like, it's just kind of funny. Like, I don't know. The more I think about it, it's just kind of funny.
Yeah, so guys, we're gonna go into what we did and what results we see. And I talked about some of my results, and I talked to Tom about it. So we'll talk about what we got into a second. But I just want you guys to realize that you're fucking running a motherfucking business. When sales go down, when something changes, your first responsibility is to try to solve the problem, whether I help or not. Whether you have fucking me on YouTube, Jason on Facebook, Tyler on YouTube, fucking Paul, Becky, you're running a motherfucking business. The buyers are still there, like 5 to 10% of their revenue, I believe. Yeah. So the buyers are there. So we just have to figure out what the problem is. Anyway, so see, baby. Yeah, casi. Tranquila, vamos a ir todavía. Yeah, my wife is like, you're working too late. But yeah. So we talked. So the drop in sales. The first thing you did, Jason, what did you do?
First thing I did is I just started listing more, and then just talking with you recommended that I go ahead and actually, all my top selling items that weren't selling, just try to lower the price, see what's going on, right? Like, see if they're still selling, if other people are still selling them, and if so, lower your price and try to get a couple sales and then raise the price back up. That's sort of the key things that we did. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah. So the reason why I say that is, from the testing that we've done so far, it's not a situation where eBay flagged an account and you're fucked. What I think is happening, which is more logical, it seems that, yeah, you do see an insane drop in sales, but I don't think it's a permanent thing. I think you get some sort of ding for maybe a day or two on listings. Because in my case, I can only talk about my strategy and what I've seen, right? When I see a drop in sales, I realize, okay, I know I only have 1,200 listings. I know 20-30% of my listings give me most of my money. Let me see what's happening. So when I search for my top 20 or 30% of the listings, what I notice is that a lot of them, instead of being at the top of the search, they're now second or third or fourth or fifth. Because they dropped to second, third, or fourth or fifth, some other motherfucker got a more recent sale. And because they got more recent sale, or 2 or 3 people got more recent sales, they are now higher than you on the eBay search. Because one of the things that affect eBay SEO is the last time an item was motherfucking sold. So a couple of things affected: the price, the title, how many items from that listing was sold, and very fucking important, the last time an item was sold. So because of that, when I drop my listings, get a couple sales, and raise it back up, meaning drop the price, I got a more recent sale than the other person who was previously above me in the search. And I've been able to do that and recover my sales over and over and over and over. So when everyone sees the drop and freaks out, so we'll cover the promoted listing drop also. But when everyone sees the drop and freak out, I'm just mind blown as how people stop. So that's one thing that we did with Jason's account. The second thing that I suggested is to open another account, open a brand new account, and see what happens. So Jason opened an account. I listed 4 items. He listed 36 items. So the account has what, 40 listings right now?
I would say about 48 last time I checked.
Okay, so remember, did you keep the page? So could you share just the sales with that account? So remember,
yeah. Give me 1 sec. I'll do it.
So remember, this account was formed a couple days ago. And so go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, so this is it. I'm not going to scroll up or down or anything because I don't want you guys to see the brand new account store name. But as you can see, this was the exact same day that me and Mark listed on account. I actually had 2 sales, but I had to cancel one because one of the items were out of stock. But yeah, this is a new account. And again, it only has about 48 active listings, I believe. And it's kind of crazy. Like, it's insane because like I've only been putting like an hour a day on this account.
Right. So yeah. So you can stop sharing now, Jason. So there's 69 you motherfuckers watching this video. 11 likes. Like my shit. We're giving you guys all the three solutions to get a sales rebound. Right. So the first thing we said was to list like crazy. The second thing we said was open a brand new account. Now, this is not going to work for you guys who are using stealth accounts. This is going to be a little difficult for international drop shippers because international drop shippers get flagged all the time and having multiple accounts is a higher risk. But all the US and UK and especially Australia, also Australian drop shippers wouldn't have this problem, right? But Maju said, don't give me Ebola. I'm not giving out Ebola, motherfucker. I'm giving out genital herpes. So don't have sex without a condom to some random motherfucker. Both boys and girls who are watching the shit. Anyway, so the second thing we said was to open a brand new account, and we see the insane growth that these accounts are getting. And what is interesting is that some of these accounts are going to get traction for 3 or 4 months. So you could build up to selling $20,000, $30,000, $40,000.
Yeah.
What's that here like? What's that here feel like? Fuck. Anyway, so that's two. Now the third thing that Tom does some I've done YouTube videos with Tom. The third thing that we talked about is instead, so he suggested to get a new account. The items that don't sell move into that new account. That's not what I'm suggesting, but that's an option. But the third thing is in the same account that you see a drop in sales, the items that have not sold in the past 3 or 4 days and may not have lost traction, I would delist those items and relist them again. So those are the three things that you guys could do to get some traction back. Now I know, so I've gone through this with my inner circle. There's a link to the inner circle in the description, so you can check that shit out. I've worked with those guys, but those are three things that you could do to get to rebound some of your sales. But that also is it's a little difficult to do that depending on the strategy, right? So Tyler, if you want, please comment and let me know if you've seen a drop in sales and what you think. Also, what I'm noticing also is that the Anchor store is a lot more expensive. You get special customer service. But I'm thinking, and just lose your history. Christian, yes, I am saying if there's some items with a lot of sales history, drop the price and get traction. But if there's some that don't have 50, 100 sales, give up on those first 3, 4, 5 sales that you got, that is sales history, and list them again. The very, very old ones with 50, hundreds of sales, don't. All right. So the third one is delist and relist. Correct.
Yeah, it's insane because I was telling Mark earlier, just to test, because I've been training one of my best friends, and literally like within a week he's already like he almost had $1,000 day like a week in. Like that's insane. He sent me like a picture like, man, I was so close to hitting $1,000 in sales in one day. And like I would hold on. I don't want to. I have this screenshot, but I don't because I know what his store name is and all that, but I don't want to show that. It's crazy. So it was just insane because what I did was with the second account, just to kind of test, what I did was I listed one item on my main account, and then on my second account that's brand new, I listed that exact same item. Now on the main account, the item showed up on the first page, maybe like, I don't know, maybe on like the 5th or 6th, 7th spot. And then the same exact item on the brand new account showed up on the second spot. So that's like, it's insane. Like, I don't know what, again, it's just some weird stuff happening with eBay, but it's just crazy, dude. Like, I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, but that's the reason why we're talking about this is to understand that like we're all fucking business owners. We all have to figure out, like, solve these problems, right? So we'll talk about the same name, same IP address, same fucking PayPal, right? I'll talk about the drop in promoted listings. And as Tyler said, he saw a drop in sales and he combated by lowering his prices. And that's what I'm saying. I lower cash traction and raise back up. Yeah, Andreas, I think we spoke about that, Jason. We're not supposed to be selling this, listing the same items in two accounts. Yeah, but we needed to do that to test the shit. So, Jason, you're gonna want to take down one of those items,
Yeah.
because you don't want to have two accounts selling the same item.
Yeah, and that was like the only thing is like, you know, obviously you don't want to be selling the same items. But again, I did it for a test. It's like,
Yeah, we have to test, and this is the thing: we test this shit because we're trying to solve problems. So
yeah.
88 of you motherfuckers watching this video, like my shit. If you got here late, watch a rerun. We talk about all the options you have to beat this eBay thing. Now, with some of you guys, if so, I want to talk about this really quick because I can't stay on this video too long because my wife needs to go buy some shit. Some of you guys talked about the drop in promoted listings. One of my boys called eBay about it, and I think the drop in promoted listings is completely separate than the your account temporarily being flagged. Okay, so I do recommend opening a new account rather than delist. Okay. Right, exactly. So the drop in promoted listings is not the same as this temporary flag. eBay wants to make money from promoted listings. eBay is doing a big push on promoted listings, and they came out with a eBay published something recently talking about 160 million items promoted, and they're moving to the new payment platform. That process of moving away from PayPal is also fucking up the SEO results a bit. So you have to understand that before eBay, when eBay used to allow people to have PayPal or a credit card processor, right? And when you had a merchant account, your account will get much less traffic than PayPal. So that also affected the SEO. So eBay being a fucking software company, eBay is the flea market of the fucking internet. So they always have hiccups. So that drop in sales with promoted listings is separate than accounts being flagged. So I suggest that you guys contact eBay and let them know. Because I've seen guys raise their promoted listing from 2% to 10% and don't see a boost, and I haven't been affected. You know what I mean? Like, Jason, have you seen a huge drop in your promoted listings or no?
On my main account, yes, but it doesn't seem like new accounts are affected by it because, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So on the promoted listing situation, I would contact eBay directly and say, hey, I have a certain level of promoted listings. I'm not getting traffic. Also, because if you guys have noticed, when promoted listings first came out, there was a limit, there was a ceiling on how much you could spend on promoted listings. Now it's not there. So that's one. Secondly, between the time I first started to use promoted listings and now, the average trending amount on promoted listings have maybe doubled. I remember seeing the average amount being like 2% on a lot of items, and I haven't seen that anytime recently. So you guys also have to understand that eBay being a software company, a platform, a lot of these changes are just not being done fucking properly. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm doing some testing right now on the second account. I'm not doing the whole basic 1 to 2% promoted listings. I'm actually doing on the trending rate because I know on my front end my margins are 10% and plus my cash back and all that. So I'm generally always at like after the fact, I'm always around like a 15% profit margin anyway. So yeah, so I'm just kind of messing around with that.
So Andreas, we have pricing genie. We announced that to the inner circle this week. So yes, the DsGenie pricing is pretty much fixed. So it'll just take a couple days to get everyone transferred over. So Jason, just real quick. So someone mentioned 88 of you motherfuckers watching this video, like my fucking video. Check out the description for free training information, DsGenie and inner circle. So Jason, you were talking about what cashback site for Amazon? Top cashback. You were talking about the weird shit that you notice. Like,
oh yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy and it's happened quite a bit and it always for some reason always just happens on my main account. So like, and I don't know, it's super weird. So anytime that like I have a shipment overdue and it like for whatever reason, like maybe I didn't realize that the handling time was set, or just Walmart or Amazon or whatever sources I'm using doesn't provide or says that it's shipped on the correct date. Anytime I have like an overdue, I swear to God, it's probably happened like 3 times. I'll wake because I usually wake up to sales every day, right? But every time I have like an overdue shipment, I usually wake up that next day with either one or like one sale or no sales. And then as soon as I either upload a tracking number or mark the item as shipped, then I just start getting sales like throughout the day. Like it's crazy. Like
Right.
it's weird.
And so I know, so yes, Nick, if you pay for the inner circle, you're a lifetime member. There's a limited amount of one-on-ones, but you could also always join in group calls, and there's training uploaded to membership area all the time. So I note two things. The reason why I stopped you when we were talking about this before is
Yeah.
because I noticed that also. If you don't upload tracking number and that type of stuff, but I also notice when my account has a lot of messages that are not answered, I feel like if like my VA like claims she's sick, or if like they stop answering message for one day and like the day after they're like 30 messages, um, and I like message them like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Answer the messages. When the messages go away, my sales shoot back up also. So I also think that all these little, although eBay is not saying it, I have noticed it too many times for it to be a coincidence
Yeah.
that once you stop, so handling time, I do 3 days handling time, 1 day shipping time. Once you stop managing your account properly, I feel like eBay, not just the tracking, but traffic could be slowed down. To be honest, like this, I've been doing this for 7 years. I haven't been able to like have actual data. DsGenie does monitor multiple like accounts. I think we might limit it to 2,000 now that we have pricing Genie. But anyway, and you'll pay a little extra for the others. But yeah, so I noticed that once you're not running the account properly, it seems to have a drop in sales.
Yeah, no, I've definitely noticed that too, and it's kind of like weird. It's definitely weird. And drop shipping is a way of life asked, what is your monthly sales with that 10% margin? I mean, with my main account, I did 14,000 my first month, and that was at a 10% up front and then another 5% on the back end. So yeah.
And wait, and what is fucking crazy is this motherfucker was not tax exempt.
Oh yeah, yeah, that too. Yeah.
So all you motherfuckers who want to claim that there's no more margin and you can't find items and all this bullshit, this motherfucker did this shit without tax exempt. I don't suggest that you do that, but there is a lot of fucking money to be made. Anyway, what is Jack Pittman's email? I don't know, Mustafa, you simple cunt. Like, I don't know why people keep trolling me about Jack. Guys, we start a YouTube channel soon called Guru Review, and Jack is going to be reviewed. A Guru Review blog, Instagram, and Facebook group. So that should be funny. Anyway, so is there anything you want to talk about really quickly, Jason? Because I want to jump off this call. And my wife, I need to take her to the store real quick. And we still have to fucking talk about some other shit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no, that was pretty much it. I mean, I would say the best thing that people can do right now, it just seems like having a new account, whether you're going to do a stealth account or just open up a second account and call eBay and let them know, like, hey, I'm opening up. I just gave eBay like a bullshit story, to be honest with you. I was just like, yeah, we're acquiring another warehouse. Like, just fucking come up with a story that seems believable. Like, so you guys can even tell them what I said. I was like, yeah, we're acquiring another warehouse. We're gonna sell niche specific items. We don't want to mix up our first store with our second store. And oh, okay, that's fine. Like I don't know. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna connect this same PayPal, and everything's been fine. So yeah, I think right now, like the best thing to do is just open up a second account if you don't have one and list on that motherfucker like crazy. Like I've only been putting like an hour a day, but I'm about like if I'm about to hopefully I get this VA and yeah, I'm gonna list on that account and then have her is gonna be amazing, dude. So yeah.
Yeah, so guys, as I said, if you don't want to get a new account, you could lower your price, get traction, go back up. I suggest to do that, especially to the items that generate the most amount of sales, or some of the items that do have traction had a couple sales. you could delist and relist them. Like I wouldn't. I know some of you guys don't want to lose. It's going to be you'll have to make a judgment call on your account. So those of you guys who have old listings, you'll have to make that judgment call to either lower the prices and raise it back up, or delist it and relist it. And you could also start a new account.
I was
With
gonna ask
a PayPal account. Go ahead.
ask 2 questions real quick. Christian asks, "Do I mind sharing where I'm sourcing from?" Dude, just the normal sources like Amazon, Walmart, Home Depot. I always try to find new sources as well. So, like Webstaurant or whatever. Yeah, let's try new sources as long as they're reliable. And then, what was that last question? How many items did they get? Yo, they get drop shipping the way. Oh yeah, drop shipping is the way of life. They gave at first they only gave me 10 items to the
Yeah.
in like $1,000.
Remember when we listed that? It just showed we tried to list and it just like you had your limit.
Yeah, and then I just called. That's when I called them, gave them that story, and then yeah, it was they gave me a pretty good selling limit. Now I can sell.
And the account started with 0 feedback, no?
Yeah, I mean, I only have 2 feedback right now, and it's like it literally blows my mind that this new account some days almost outsells my main account. Like that's insane. Like
Yeah.
And it has again only 48 active listings. My main account has over 800. I did delist a lot of them that, like you said, kind of like delist them, and I'm gonna relist them. So I was just doing some cleanup on my main store, but yeah.
And then one other thing. So I will drop the price to break even, get 1 or 2 sales. When that listing gets 1 or 2 sales, I'll raise it back up. And you may not want to raise it right back up to the top price. Raise it to maybe 5%. Like me personally, I'm going from 10% to 0. So I raise it up to maybe 5% and get 1 or 2 sales, and then raise it up again back to my 10%.
Yeah.
And I might have lost traction for a week, but because my account is so small, I'm able to respond quickly. Like I talk about this all the time. The reason why I keep this like relatively small store, I have a very specific strategy. I snipe, I sell what sells, I delete the shit that doesn't sell, and I know what's selling my account. I know what's generating the most of my income, so I could maneuver to suit. So, like, this is a very specific strategy. I'm at a lost traction for a week and then bounce back up. And I think the only reason everyone thinks that there's a conspiracy against drop shippers is because now we have motherfucking Facebook group and YouTube channels, and everyone wants to seem like they know what the fuck is going on. So we have to create this problem that some motherfucker has to solve, right? Yeah. But I remember I drop shipping for 3 or 4 years before fucking this bullshit. And I just sit down and solve the problem because I needed the money to pay my fucking bills, to like, now I have like a family and shit. So like a lot of times you don't get mixed up in that shit. What reprice are you using, Jason?
On the second account, I'm not using a repricer. I'm actually waiting for Mark to hook me up with the pricing genie. Just waiting for that to get fixed. Viral videos, I've only been drop shipping for going on 3 months now. And on my main account, I'm using, so everyone knows, on my main account, I'm using DSM tool, but it's trash. So yeah. I mean, it's cheap. Right. You kind of get what you pay for. So.
Exactly. So anyway, guys, I need to get off this live. Jason, I need to go drop my wife and call you on. We could do an Instagram call now, no?
Yeah. Well, you need to follow me back on Instagram first and foremost.
Oh my bad.
Yeah, follow me back on Instagram, and yeah, we can do an Instagram live call, whatever, if you want. Or
cool. I'll follow you back right now.
I think that's how that works.
Yeah. All right, motherfuckers, go follow me on Instagram. And check out the links in the description. And 88 of you motherfuckers sat and watched us give you solutions and didn't like my shit. You're definitely gonna get herpes and clap. So that shit's gonna suck. So like my fucking video, subscribe to my fucking channel if you happen to be here and you're not a subscriber. And have a good one, motherfuckers. I made that money for Christmas. And fuck DSM tools. Later.